Welcome to episode 21 of Chop on the Top. My name is William.
My name is Blake. Blake, Lenny Rosenbluth Robertson.
Say where you going with
I have
that?
no idea.
Well, we're glad
What's your
you're
last name?
here. Quapple.
Oh, I've been tagged by you in the video.
Yes.
Man, serious stuff.
We're getting serious tonight because
Yeah,
this show is
yeah,
apparently legal.
yeah. For 21 now, guys, and ladies and gentlemen.
Well, in some countries it had already been legal.
Well, that's true. But we cannot. Can we? Can at one point you couldn't rent a car till you're 25, so we can't. We still can't rent a car.
Apparently not.
You know.
But we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yes.
We got a wild show today. We got some quarterfinals to recap. We got some semifinals to preview, and I got somebody made the playoffs somehow. Hey, one of your teams finally made the
Well, I
playoff.
I took them on at the last minute.
That does
I've
not
been in 2 games.
that does not count. Then
Yes, it does.
not
Yes, it
enough.
does. Your
There's
Broncos.
a word we have for them for people like you.
We're on seventh place. We're not number one. I didn't go with the Colt and the Chiefs or the Lions.
I'm a little surprised.
Well, I have a reason for that.
Valid, but we will get to them here in a second. But you have some things to say first
Yes.
and foremost.
First off, I know I've been talking about a pastor here of late. He's going to the doctor today and tomorrow, and he's going to find out what he can do now because of his heart surgery. I think he's going to be not released, of course, but he had it's 5 pounds. He can only lift 5 pounds. I'm sure that's going to be elevated. They say he's doing really good. So for a 70 middle 70s-year-old man, it's going pretty good for heart trouble.
I say I would know.
And then also, in a lighter note, or not a lighter note, but another note, we had the 15th Hall of Famer for the North Carolina Tar Heel basketball program in the Hall of Fame yesterday, Lenny Rosenbluth from the 1957 National Championship team of North Carolina, and he averaged 25 points a game for his college career, and it took him 70 years to put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I was gonna say what took it so long?
That's not why you were doing the watch.
No, I was curious what took it so long to
Exactly,
get
because it's
there.
North Carolina. They got too many in probably. He
That
earned his right. He earned the right to be in
no,
the Hall of Fame
I don't
early.
know. I don't know much about what he's done at Carolina, but it
He
sounds
won
like
a national championship.
based on what you said, he should have already been in by now. But what do I
It's
know?
the Carolina bias.
Carolina, thank God it ain't Kentucky.
Now you got as many as Carolina's got. I don't think.
I'm not sure, nor do
They
I.
probably got a lot actually. All right, let's get started, baby. On
Let's get
the
this ball rolling.
Let's start with the playoffs. I am shocked by a couple of these scores, and a couple of them we kind of picked here.
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised myself.
The number one game I wanted to talk about, and I'm shocked by the most about, is the Ohio State Oregon game. We all, I can't, we, I mean, I like to think we all picked Oregon. Did you pick Oregon?
I think I picked Oregon.
So no, you know what didn't pick Oregon? It was Jared,
Sure.
and I think he said 14 points as the. I watched our show last night from last week, and he was close.
He was
21
close.
points.
Yeah, Jared was close. I
What would make it that game? I think to me,
I
I
was
think
having
Oregon.
tacos during that game.
Huh?
I was having tacos during that game.
Okay. Well, I mean, well, okay. Let me tell you what I make up of this. Is you didn't watch the game and didn't do
No,
your research.
I didn't say I didn't watch it.
Moses.
I was
All
too
right.
busy stuffing my face with tacos to pay attention.
Okay. It's getting weird up in this joint already. We're, we're 4 minutes in.
We're already getting weird.
Getting weird. But to my point, I think I they need to make the first and second round, the first round and the quarterfinal round, 1 week separation because that's too long of a break.
I mean,
All the upsets happened. All four of them were upsets, and they all happened.
yeah, I mean, and the sad thing is, none of these games outside of Texas and Arizona State were even good games. I
Yeah,
mean, I had a nicer game at the Rose Bowl the one I was at.
yeah.
I mean, that was at least somewhat of a close competitive game. The one I went to at the Rose Bowl, the Battle for LA, and I think the only difference is they had nicer weather than when I went. It was a little drizzly when I went.
Oh yeah,
But no, I mean, it definitely, I was watching that. I was watching the Rose Parade and, getting flashbacks and happy memories of being in Pasadena,
yeah,
being at the Rose Bowl, being in California,
right.
and just about how it's a wonderful time I had out there. And, but no, back to the games themselves. I mean, I think, you know, Boise kept it close for a little bit.
Right.
But no, back to the Oregon one, I'm definitely shocked. Especially, it really was the Tennessee game 2.0. I mean,
Yeah.
Ohio State came out firing all
Yeah.
cylinders. Oregon scored late in the half, and, it scored in the second half, right away in the second half.
They tried.
I
Make
mean,
them
they
out
made
come
an
back.
effort. They made a
They,
game of it late, but I think they
yeah.
just were too
Too much.
deep, oh,
That would have been a
gee.
35-point comeback for them to win.
Yeah, they
That
wouldn't have
one
done.
point.
I didn't think they were going to do it. And then I think there was a rushing touchdown in the third, and I think that kind of just put the nail in the coffin.
I think some of the thing. I bet you Dave's job was on the line if he didn't do well in the playoffs.
No, no, I think Day's job was saved with that
No,
Tennessee
no.
game.
Okay. So you're saying what I'm saying is the going into the playoffs, somebody told him if you don't do well tonight in this playoffs, if Tennessee comes up here and whoops our ass or something like that, your job might be in jeopardy.
No,
So
yeah, I think, hey,
hello
mom,
to
hey,
William's
mom,
mom.
hey, mom. Um,
Hey mom, get off the dang roof.
uh, no, I think, when it comes to Day, I think his job is safe.
I'm talking about before the playoffs
Oh,
start.
before the playoffs,
Yes,
absolutely. But no, I think it was safe.
I think it fired up the team.
Oh, it absolutely fired up the team. But I think after there was nothing to be worried about going into the Oregon game.
No. Also, I think that when Michigan gets to them, somehow they got some kind of zone out on Michigan and against everybody else. They play great.
Yeah, I don't know what Michigan has on them. What
Yeah,
you know,
and they're about ready to have on again because they're gonna be better. Michigan's gonna be a better team than Ohio State next year
we'll see.
with Underwood coming in.
We will
Who had the better
see.
quarterback?
I don't know who's next up for Ohio
I have
State.
no idea. But I'm saying Bryce Underwood
I don't
is
want that.
automatically the better quarterback right now.
We will
Anyway,
see.
all right.
But no, Will Howard played great. Boy, that one receiver, Jeremiah Smith,
He's supposed to go to Florida State.
yourself, sir. He had 7 receptions for 187 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, that was impressive. But some of the catches he made were pretty impressive
I mean,
too.
he's a great player.
He's absolutely,
He's one of the all-time greats in freshman history, in Ohio State history, the freshman. And then also on Friday, this is on Friday night. No, when was that on?
New
No, New
Year's
Year's
Eve.
Eve.
New Year's
Okay.
Eve, right before the
Okay.
ball drop.
And we also said in that game, I originally picked Penn State to win, I mean Boise State to win, but I changed my pick to Penn State last week. I think I got it right. Some of us said Boise over here last week, but
I
Penn
think I
State,
said Boise too.
yeah, I think you did. I listened back and watched the podcast. I try to remember stuff, but my memory's not very good.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but we
Drew Aller played great.
Drew Allen played.
Genty tried. They did everything they could to get in the ball, and I think there's just one Madsen is just not good enough to beat
No,
Penn
no,
State.
he threw 3 interceptions. 4 turnovers are going to kill you.
Yeah, especially against a real good Penn State team that I now have in the final game.
We will get to that. No, I mean 2 early touchdowns. Though the thing I remember about this game,
Wait a minute, I can't have them in the final game. I keep thinking about that. I picked Notre Dame from the original get go, didn't I?
yeah, I actually had Penn State in the final game.
I just forgot. I just remember that. I can't change my pick now. We'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah,
But no, if you remember correctly,
my memory's not very
it's,
good, dog.
it's called the holiday season, my
Oh,
friend.
more than that, right?
But if you remember correctly, it looked like, you know, Penn State was going to run them out the building early on.
Yeah,
Uh,
they tried. Boise State tried. It just wasn't enough.
but no, I
They were
remember.
they were up 14-0, and maybe those two. Well, I think they went 17-7. I think it was, and then it ended up being From there on, it was
Yeah, it was all Penn State.
all Penn State from then on out. Aller can play when he
But
wants
then
to.
Singleton had that 58-yard touchdown run to say good night, sweet prince.
I remember that. And also, I think Aller's coming back next year. So whatever they do this year is going to be icing on the cake for next year.
Absolutely. But the one exciting game of this playoffs,
Which is unbelievable. Scatterboo played awesome.
Scatterboo, man,
Even as a losing team, he won the MVP of the
he
Fiesta,
should have. I
whatever
mean,
bowl that was.
who else would have
Peach
been?
Bowl.
Quinny Horse.
Yeah. I watched that game too. It was a very exciting performance by both teams. Arizona State did everything they could do to win that game. I think didn't they miss a field goal?
No, that was Texas missed several field goals down the stretch.
Right. What happened at the end where Arizona State went to overtime?
So I don't know if you remember the targeting call.
Yeah, that should have been targeting.
That was I have seen guys get kicked out of the game for less.
Oh, absolutely.
That was a game altering call. I hate to use this word, but the fix.
It feels like an SEC fix, but
It really does. I really, because we both can agree that's called targeting.
most times,
No,
99% of the time.
no, yeah, that's probably the one time it's not called.
Right, I don't understand that.
With that being said, if that gets called,
Yeah,
Arizona State goes on to win.
I agree with that.
100%.
Then he had 4th and 13, and they let a guy slip through behind the defense.
Yeah,
And that kind
I was talking to Dad. Dad and I watched this, and
that would won the game for him.
well, what they needed to do is just drop everybody back.
Yeah, they didn't
Now,
do that.
treat it like a Hail Mary.
Right.
We send maybe one or two guys to get the quarterback just in case.
Yep.
Maybe a spy for three. But you send 9 guys back there.
Yeah, you got to do everything you can not to let that ball anybody get behind the defense, and that did. And that cost them the game.
They did it twice, I think.
Feels like they did. I was impressed with Arizona State. They just didn't quite get.
But that was definitely so far.
They didn't make one more play. Texas made one more play in Arizona State, and that cost them the game.
Yeah, and that's why I hate the college overtime rule.
Why? What do you mean you hate it?
It just comes down to one play.
No, they played a full overtime.
They played double overtime, but still, I don't know.
No, the play when you get to the 2 point conversions.
Okay, yeah.
2 point conversions, to me, that's where it's kind of iffy. I understand why they do it, quick the game, and also keep injuries from happening. But one play each side, that's still not a way to win the game.
Yeah, no.
Inside a game.
Before we get to the last quarterfinal, we want to express our condolences to the people of New Orleans and that tragedy.
Okay. Yep.
Our prayers are with the families and the victims down on Bourbon Street, law enforcement, everybody.
Do we agree with how they handle the game? I say it's kind of foolish, somewhat. Not foolish, that's not the right word, but it's like, what is the right way to go? Why? What is one day? What does one day do for anything?
I think just more just for security measure, just
They go security. That makes sense.
Beef up security, make sure the area is clear.
Yeah. That part I agree with, but why is it just New Orleans that cares about this? Why is it not the whole country? Why do we postpone other things? I mean, you know.
I mean, it's something, may I ask you a question?
Please, sir.
Have you ever been to New Orleans?
No.
Okay. I've been many times. The Superdome is very close to Bourbon Street.
I know. I see that.
They just want to make sure everybody's safe in that area.
I understand that, but what about the rest of the country? Why did it matter to the rest of the country? Exactly.
I have no clue.
And then why are we rushing to play it the next day? And they played it at 4 o'clock because the players wanted to play at 4 o'clock. Nothing to do with security measures. I mean, that seems kind of weird too.
Either way,
back to the game. The Georgia Bulldogs would have won with Beck. Unfortunately, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are going to the semifinals, and they're one win away from going back to the national championship game for the first time since they lost to Alabama. How many years ago was that?
That was my freshman year at Tennessee in 2013. No.
How many freshman years was that? Yeah.
No. My first year at Tennessee, fall of 2012. So it was the spring of the winter of 20.
It's been a long time. And if they win the national championship, it'll be the first national championship since 1988. Goodness gracious alive.
But hey, didn't I call it?
You called it.
Didn't I say?
Called it. I've been calling it since.
Here come the Irish.
How you gonna take credit for something I called too? I've been
Of
calling it since the start of the playoffs.
Notre Dame. Thank you, thank you,
You're welcome.
thank you, thank you.
Yes, very good.
Oh, my hair is an absolute mess.
Oh my goodness. But I think both quarterbacks. I mean, I think Stockton put up a good fight. I just think Notre Dame's defense was just too much.
Well, I think the nail in the coffin was that kickoff return.
Yes, it was. And the first, you know what really got them was the first turnover in the red zone.
Yes.
They were on the drive, looking good, and they fumbled right to Notre Dame. And that was probably the not the straw that the camel's back, but what got Notre Dame rolling.
Boy, Riley Leonard did not look good though.
He didn't have to. Defense.
No, he didn't have to, but
Yeah.
that was one of those games he didn't have to look good. I mean, he only had 90 yards passing.
They really didn't have great stats. They just got it done. Somehow, some way, they figured out a way to get it done.
Yep.
That's all that matters. The running game wasn't that good, but the defense was great. And that's what's probably going to get happen again on whatever night they play this week.
It was Thursday.
Yeah, we'll look that up in a minute.
That was the first game though all year. Jordan Love, Jeremiah Love,
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
did not have a rushing touchdown
Well, that's because
all
the
season.
defense is great.
All season. Yeah, well, great.
Florida's defense did not lose that
And
game.
he's also injured.
He is?
Yeah, it's a knee problem.
So he's not playing. Is he
I
playing?
think he'll play.
Okay.
He played against Georgia.
Right.
Played in this game too.
But the Dogs' defense still is great. The problem is their offense has kind of went down. You don't have Bowers. You don't have the other wide receiver they had when they won it all. That's the issue they got in Georgia. Until they get their offense back to where it was, they're not winning. They're going to play in the playoffs, but they're not going to be a national championship contender.
No,
Going forward for me. Because if that's the case, McConkey. If you have McConkey and Bowers, Stockton does better.
Oh, absolutely.
But have you seen Bowers play in the NFL?
Yeah.
He's a beast, and McConkey's dominating.
Watch the Raiders.
You just agreed to me. You've seen him.
I mean, I've seen him highlights, but I've never watched.
And Conkey is playing great in LA. So you see how great that team
I
was.
saw McConkey light up New England.
Right.
It's not fun.
So
we will get to that in a minute.
So we're gonna go back to the other bowls, and then we're gonna predict the playoffs going forward in just a few minutes.
The Gator Bowl, how does that make you feel?
The Gator Bowl, how it make me feel? I said Ole Miss is gonna win.
Ole Miss destroyed Duke.
Well, they have a lot of transfers.
Well, no, I think the transfer portal destroyed Duke.
Yeah, Murphy's gone.
This is a prime example of why we should not have a December transfer.
I mean, I agree with that. Thank God for Florida State. We do. We got to jump on everybody, but
yeah.
But I see what I mean. I understand that we shouldn't probably do a transfer portal after the bowls, after the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Like the free agent market doesn't open up till what, March in the NFL in April.
Problem is, kids can't transfer for the winter semester, the spring semester, because
I understand that too. So don't have. What are you gonna do with the playoffs now? You got it all the way till the end of January now. Going forward.
Yeah, then in the First Responders Bowl, Texas State beat North Texas 30-28.
I don't remember who we picked in that game. I don't think it matters too much.
But
I remember me picking Virginia Tech. I almost placed a bet on that game, but I'm glad I didn't because I was going to go with Virginia Tech. But Minnesota got a win, and then the coach from Minnesota got
Fleck.
Yeah, Fleck got mayonnaise dumped on his head.
That's just
so weird.
That's so gross.
Did you ever let that happen to you, Will?
Absolutely not. I don't eat much mayonnaise. My condiment of choice is hot sauce. Hot sauce and wing sauce.
Dump Red Bull on me, please. Dump some Red Bull on me.
Just give me baseball back. Yes.
My buddy John, he'll like Brandon like this. My buddy John at Kickback Jacks, every day he says, February 14th, High Point University, I'll be at the game, opening game for the baseball. And I'm like, make sure you tell us that every day, John. And he does. Every single day he tells us he'll be on February 14th.
Exactly.
Then he said it's going to snow, so it might cancel. I tell John, that's 35 days away. I ain't going to know it's going to snow. And it's in February, which may mean a little bit warmer weather for North Carolina.
Probably. And the last.
Hey, Brandon, I'm a Braves fan, so it's kind of, I'm taking my time because I'm not sure exactly what the Braves are going to have this year. We have signed absolutely no one in free agency.
Everybody has left.
Nobody's left.
Played
Oh,
Mortensen.
Mortensen. Who's Mortensen?
Charlie Mortensen.
It's Charlie Morton.
Charlie
Get in the
Mortensen.
game, dog.
And then our last bowl
Oh,
game.
let's just pass over. That was that bowl game.
Well,
Alabama.
most of the no. Oh yeah, well,
We got to talk about that. All four of us last week said, "Oh, Alabama blowout, 55-0," and we all were wrong. Not so fast to us.
we were wrong.
Michigan, the Wolverines say, "Wait for next year," as they you thought they'd be waiting for next year, but obviously not. They had a mission to knock off the Tide, and Alabama. What did I tell you?
Milroe looked terrible.
Yeah. What did I tell you at the beginning of this year about Alabama?
A lot of things.
Right, but what specifically? Number one thing did I say?
Remember.
I said in 2 years they're gonna be like who?
Don't remember.
You don't remember that?
No.
They sound like me.
That was back in August.
They're gonna be just like Florida State. Maybe not 2 losses, but they're gonna be out of the bowl.
Yes. Alabama loses, America wins.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes, but you remember that now?
Yeah, oh yeah, now I remember.
So I think this is all Nick Saban gone. In 2 more years, they're gonna make a call to a certain man named Kirby Smart. That's the only way.
Never leave Georgia.
For Alabama, he would.
Georgia's his alma mater.
Okay, Dabo.
I actually thought it was going to be Dabo from Maget instead of DeBoer.
I think DeBoer is not ready for the SEC.
No, DeBoer is not. DeBoer is not.
And there's a certain standard at Alabama that they have kept for the last 15 years, and nothing short of that is going to be worth it for them. So what's the other team? Dabo. There's another Curtis. Oh, Lane Kiffin. They're going to make a long haul to him eventually too.
Yep. Maybe. Again, does he leave Ole Miss?
I think he would for Alabama.
I will, but I do not think
for the right money.
I do not think it'll be Kirby Smart. He's too loyal to Georgia.
But they will call him.
I think they will call
They have to call him because he's the closest to Nick Saban there is in attitude.
I would say yes.
So that's it. I just see the writing on. They have not recruited. Well, of course they've been playing, and they haven't had a chance to add transfers, but they've lost 15 people to the transfer portal.
Oh yeah.
It's not looking good in Alabama.
No, but they'll get it together.
Just remember, August 30th, Florida State versus Alabama in Tallahassee. Guaranteeing Florida State wins that game. Why do you like that?
We'll see.
Have you seen the transfers that are coming in for Florida State? Our defense is going to be awesome next year with a guy from Nebraska. You got your boy coming in.
Oh yeah.
Adding depth on the inside, and then Thomas Cassiano fits Mike Norvell's system. He likes the guy who can make something happen with his legs and make throws down the field. And Mr. DJ, whatever his name was, definitely couldn't do it. We had nobody last. Yeah, we had nobody last year that could do that.
Oh yeah.
Luke wasn't ready, and the other guy that played Brock was not ready, and DJ wasn't ready to run that offense. I think that was a desperation year for Florida State.
Yeah.
And he learned his lesson.
Yes, absolutely.
Louisville beat Washington in the Sun Bowl.
Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Yeah, Tony the Tiger.
Go Cards.
And then, of course, in the Citrus Bowl, the Cox
didn't make it. That was a fun game to watch. You see the fight that nearly broke out?
You know what happened in that game?
What?
The Cox got beat.
By the good old Oski, wow. Oski, wow, ew.
So, did that make me feel less about South Carolina going forward? No, not at all. If Sellers is coming back next year, which I have no idea if he is or not, what year he is, but if he is coming back, I think South Carolina will be a top 15 team next year going in.
But did you see the near brawl that broke out in that game?
What game does the near brawl not break out?
Well, valid. But no, the coaches almost got into it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Bielema was doing this to Beamer, and Beamer just loses his mind.
Yeah. LSU beat Blake.
That was a fun game. My dad and I watched that, obviously.
Why is it obvious?
That's an LSU alum.
Okay.
Dad went to LSU. So, no, we watched that game. Nussmeier looked good. Nussmeier had 3 touchdowns and 300 yards passing.
I mean, LSU's trying to add some people. Their recruiting class is very good. They're trying to be on a come up for next year. We'll see.
I think they will be on the come up this year. I think they'll have a good year next year.
When do they get? When do they come up? Because that's 3 years in a row where Daniels played 2 years. They didn't really do what they wanted those 2 years. You got Nussmeyer playing good this year, but they're not even close to the SEC title game. So what happens? How will you get there next year? What's going to be different? We'll
Maybe
see.
defense.
I mean, yeah, you would like to think so.
And then the last but not least, Liberty lost.
The Bahama Bowl. They got a little distracted by the weed.
Well, did you see the shirt Liberty's coach was wearing?
I did not.
He wore a Jesus Wins shirt.
I like it.
It got pretty mean.
It's par for the course in America.
Yep. I'm not the biggest Liberty fan at all.
Okay, but it's very, very good of him to wear that shirt.
But I agree. It's a good shirt, but
There you go. I don't know what the
Jesus
downside. I don't know what the downside is to that.
Jesus might have won, but he didn't.
Oh, that's for sure. Okay, there you go. Thank God you cleared that up because I was walking in a sea of whatever it was. All right, moving on to the college football semifinal round.
We have 3 games to discuss.
There's only 2 in the semifinals.
2 in the semifinals, but we also have the FCS championship between Montana State and North Dakota State.
We picked that last week.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Really?
I watched the show last night. You picked it last week. You picked North Dakota State. I picked North. No, you picked Montana State. I picked North Dakota State.
It's tonight. The game is
tonight.
Give me the Bobcats.
Oh, gosh.
Over the Bison.
Let's see what the spread is in that.
It is 2-2-2-2.
I have to put some money down, dog. Know where to look.
It is a 3.5 for Montana.
Yeah, he did, didn't it? Because they're undefeated.
Frisco, Texas.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't think I'll pick that game.
No, well, last year, North Dakota State won. 35-34.
What was that, like 10 national championships for them?
It'd be something like that.
Yeah. I think North Dakota State, I mean, just because they're tradition and they've figured out how to win. They know how to win in the big games.
That is a team I could see coming up to FBS soon.
And joining the what conference would you join? Big 12?
Mountain West.
Well, yeah, maybe so. Start off there and maybe go to the Big 12 later on when they add more teams or whatever.
Maybe. Let's see. They have 17 total claimed national championships. So they've won
17 national championships.
Not 9 championships, 9 division.
I mean, they've been on top for a while. Been on top for a while,
they won in 65, 68, 69, 83, 85, 86, 88, 90.
You can count.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, and 21.
So which college do you devote that math to that you graduated from?
UNCG.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Tennessee's not an academic school. Nobody in the SEC outside of Vanderbilt does.
Academics.
Oh, Evan, to answer your question, right now as we're recording, AC Milan is playing in the Supercoppa d'Italia against Internazionale. It is 2-1, unfortunately, for Inter. In the 57th minute, Theo Hernandez just scored for AC. Of course, Martinez scored for Inter. Back to the real point of business. So you're picking the Bison, I'm picking the Bobcats.
Yeah, there you go. Congratulations to both teams, and hopefully they have a great game tonight. I'll be sleeping on the couch.
I'm watching that game tonight.
You are. And then also, moving on to the semifinal. Let's try this again. We're moving on to the semifinals of the college football playoffs.
So this will be Montana State's first national championship since '84.
Okay. Where were you at in 1984?
Not even alive. Not even 10 years away. I was still another 10 years out.
Well, I wasn't born yet either, because I was born in December.
Oh, yes.
1984. Ohio State versus Texas. Are you ready to do this?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Thank God.
But it's been a fun FCS season, too.
Has it? How many games did you watch for the SCS? Two SCS games. Two SCS teams play each other. How many games did you watch?
I'm teasing you.
I know, but I'm asking you, how many games did you watch of two SCS teams play?
Actually, watched a couple. I watched like 3 or 4.
Okay. Well,
Back to the real
the answer is
business.
0 for me.
Then back to the real task at hand. Texas, Ohio State.
Yes. You got in that game, dog.
Texas will. But I could absolutely again see Ohio State just slapping Texas in the mouth.
My question is, why wouldn't they? They've already done it to Oregon. They already done it to y'all. So why wouldn't they do it to Texas?
They didn't do it to Michigan.
Well, I know what you're saying, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Everybody else they played good against, so why wouldn't they do it to Texas?
Because it's in Texas.
All the exes live in Texas.
Not mine.
That would be a lot of Texas fans in that stadium.
I mean, it's in Dallas.
Tuesday, Thursday night. But I'm going to say Ohio State momentum. Ohio State wins that game 31-21. I'm not betting against Ohio State the rest of the season. Maybe we'll see, but I feel like their confidence is so high right now. It's going to be tough to beat them.
Again, I could see it going both ways. I really
definitely could. We thought that about Oregon and Ohio State.
Or Ohio State is a -6.
That's too much.
That's too much.
That's too. But those last 2 wins have gotten that spread for them, though.
I think it'd be higher if it was outside the state of Texas, too.
I mean, it probably would be. But for a championship type game, I don't think 6. I mean, I said 20, 31, 21, but it'd be tough to get anybody. If you're wagering on something, would you wager on
I
that?
touch this game, no. I maybe do the money line.
What about with the 10-foot pole?
Do the money line with 10-foot pole, but nothing else.
Okay.
Do we have a score?
I told you. 31-21.
31-21 Ohio
Had to
State.
had to wake him up from his nap.
Not real happy about it either. I'm going Texas. 35-31.
That's a high scoring game. And I can see that being a pretty high scoring game as well because I think Brock Ewers is not playing great, but he did enough to win the last game. And they won 2 games in the playoffs. I mean,
the question I have with Texas: can they run the ball?
Yeah, that's true. That's a true question. That's a true statement. If we need to run the football to beat Ohio State, I believe it's a must. It's a must to beat Ohio State if you run the football.
Yes.
But Ohio State defense has been so good in the last 2 games. I mean, they've impressed me a lot. And I don't know. I don't know without these last 2 games. If they'd have won both those games by small margin, I don't know that I would have picked them over Texas.
Again, this is a game goes either way.
I think. I mean, the fact that we both have got 2 different picks in this game proves it could. But I feel like in the next game, we have the same pick. Notre Dame against Penn State. I've already made a bet on this game going toward Penn State. So I'm going to keep that bet because I don't try to change my mind. We'll see. But I'm going to, because I picked Notre Dame to start the playoffs to win both games and go to the national title game. I'm saying the Irish beat Penn State and go back to the national championship game for the first time since 2014.
So wait, 13.
Yeah.
See,
I think 13, and we were the champions at 13.
No. 12.
Okay. 2012.
2012
Okay.
season, but the title game was in 13.
13. Okay.
Yes. So what was your score?
My score was for the Texas. Notre Dame Penn State game.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be more of a low scoring affair. I think both defenses are really, really good. The quarterbacks are good, but I don't think they can let it be it won't be a shootout. So I'm going to go 21-17 Irish. And I've got Ohio State and Notre Dame in the national championship game.
Like I said last week, here come the Irish.
I said that one time today, too.
of Notre Dame.
Oh,
It's not even relevant.
it's relevant any day.
But I agree, it will be a low scoring game.
I think the defenses. This might be a defensive slugfest. Where they've been playing, both of them.
I'm going 20-14 Notre Dame.
So you've got Notre Dame and Texas in the national championship game, and I've got Notre Dame and Ohio State in the
Did
national
you pick
championship game.
Penn State in the beginning? Or no? Who'd you pick in the beginning?
Well,
Penn State.
no, from the beginning of the tournament, I picked Notre Dame. Remember, I picked Notre Dame unless Beck played
You're right.
all the way to the final game.
You're right.
So I'm gonna have how many teams left? One team left that I picked originally. So
My goose, I think, is beyond cooked. My
it's
question
always
is,
cooked.
if it's Ohio State and Notre Dame, can we please have Northern Illinois versus Michigan as an undercard? Please.
Northern Illinois versus Michigan is an undercard.
Yes, it's
Why
the
say that?
undercard game.
Why say that?
Because Notre Dame lost to NIU.
Okay.
And I think America would love this.
Let me see what I can pull together here. I'm excited about that.
Know what he's doing, people.
All right. On to yeah.
So do we have a prediction for the title game?
Yeah, we gotta wait for that.
Well, no, based on what we predicted.
Yeah, we'll wait and see what happens.
Okay. I'm going with the Irish.
That would be. I mean, they're the Cowboys of college football right now.
They haven't been good since before I was born.
Yeah,
They have an obnoxious fan base, almost like a religious based following.
Let's talk about the transfer portal real quick. Let me get in here and
Both Grimsley guys who entered the portal have new homes. Josh Jarrett's going to Southern California,
right.
and Travis Shaw is going from North Carolina to Texas.
Travis Shaw.
Yeah, the guy from
baseball player.
No, football player.
All right. So the transfer portal, as of right now, I think more teams have started to do it because Texas Tech is not number one anymore.
No.
And the teams, the top 5, well, the top 10 teams in the portal right now. Let me go back to the teams here. Oh, no.
Let's see. Transfer portal rankings.
I'm looking for the team.
So right now it has.
Okay, there we go.
LSU is number one.
Ole Miss was number 1 yesterday.
And they leapfrog Texas Tech. Ole Miss is number 5.
What are you doing that? What did you say?
Florida State's number 5.
You said Ole Miss is number 5.
I misspoke.
Good God Almighty!
Sit down.
Wake up over here.
Sit down, Karen.
So Alabama, look how far Alabama is down. 28th. I'm telling you right now, guys. Don't be shocked if next year it's a 6-6 season for Alabama.
I wouldn't go that far. I would go 8-4.
They're 9-4 now.
Yeah, I know. They'll go 8-4 and maybe win a ball game. Wisconsin, Wisconsin's 10th.
Which is impressive because Fickle can recruit.
Yeah, but
I think eventually that they're going to find a player quarterback because Tyler Van Dyke is transferred out. I don't know where he went, but he's
see you bye.
Gone. I'm done looking at the rankings.
Just looking. Tyler Van Dyke went to.
I won't be shocked if he ain't going anywhere.
He went to SMU.
SMU? Don't do that to yourself, SMU. He's going to Twitter, the X.
Oh no, that shows Wisconsin back in 23.
All right, go back to the transfer rankings. All right. So LSU, which is probably much what you kind of would expect. And I think Texas Tech, the fact that they're still at number 2 is pretty impressive. So we'll see what they've got and how they.
They got Michael Van Buren from Mississippi State at LSU. That's a interesting pickup.
So is Massenberger done?
Nussmeier?
Yeah, that guy.
I think he's coming back.
So why would they?
Back up.
Florida State University Seminoles have just loaded
Squirrely
up.
Squirrel. You got my Squirrely Squirrel. And you got Jenkins.
Mr. Jenkins is coming to Florida State, dog. I think it's a lot of depth involved in this, and some pretty good players as well. Deuce Robinson is going to be on the outside, and he's going to be ready to roll come that first Saturday in August. Last Saturday in August, sorry. The outgoing transfers, I don't care about that. Those guys, I mean, it's not a big deal. They're gone. Bye. See you.
Dylan McNamara is still looking for a home.
They're all moving for homes.
I thought the port already closed. Oops. Oh,
It's wild up in here.
Let's see. Yeah, Wisconsin, Miami's 14th, not doing well. Oregon 17th, but I think they've been busy with the
I mean,
playoffs.
they'll eventually get going. They need a quarterback, I believe.
Duke's 48th with 7th commits.
Wow, go Duke.
I'm still looking for Tennessee people.
Tennessee.
84th with 1 commit.
They'll get involved soon. Trust me.
Mo.
The spring portal is going to open and they'll be involved in that. So I wouldn't get too worried.
Gaston Moore still looking for a home.
How many did y'all have leave? Like 8?
We had 18.
Wow, gosh. They got to get to work.
But I think we'll use the next portal.
That's what I'm saying. Spring portal. That's going to be where the teams in the playoffs kind of regroup themselves and try to
really do some work. Spot behind us. Kennesaw State.
Oh man! Watch out for the Owls, baby, coming up. They're going to whoop Tennessee next year in their matchup.
They don't play next year.
All right, NFL time. So my Broncos are in the playoffs, and Cincinnati and Miami got their heads chopped off. And the other side, Green Bay, I think the normal team, the team that we thought would make the playoffs out of the NFC did. So nothing real exciting about that. The Rams are the 3 seed, correct?
No,
Tampa Bay's the 3 seed, and the Rams are the 4. So they'll play Minnesota at home. They'll play a 14-3 team at home.
Yeah, I mean, those are definitely some interesting matchups in the first round. You guys got to go to Buffalo. Pittsburgh's got to go to Baltimore. That's going to be
a tough matchup for Pittsburgh. I think Russell Wilson's
done.
Mr. William McLean's going to hate this when I say this, but I don't think he's where you 5 years ago, if they had Russell Wilson, they'd be having a good quarterback. But now I think he's kind of washed up.
I think he's Mr. Gotta go.
And some of the other games, real quick, passing over. The Carolina Panthers won their final game. They looked pretty good on offense.
My brother and his girlfriend were all at that game.
Congratulations to them.
They watched a Wild and Woolly one.
A Wild and Woolly one. Go Woolly. No. The
Buccaneers won the South.
Well, Buccaneers.
America won.
America won.
The Cowboys lost.
The Commanders and Marcus Mariota beat the Cowboys
on a last-second touchdown.
And they screwed their backup quarterback Rush by not letting him play the game and costing money. And that's just Jerry Jones.
I mean, it's Jerry Jones. Keep spending that.
That's all. 500. He just lost $500K. I would sue Jerry Jones for that money, honestly. Yeah. If I could, I would try. I don't know if you can, but I would try.
I think it's in its contract.
To do what? Oh yeah. Do we think this is the last game for Aaron Rodgers?
I would say yes.
And the Jets, or are you going to retire?
Retire.
Oh, that's a big take.
He actually came out and said that this could be his last NFL game.
Have you not learned anything yet from him? It's Brett Favre and Tom Brady all over again. The only one who didn't do that, well, Breeze really didn't either, but Peyton Manning didn't do it either. He didn't say. I think Peyton knew he was done when he was done.
I think Rodgers knows he's done, and who's going to want him?
Stick a fork in him, he's done. Well, I think if he goes to a a team with a lot of good weapons, ask him to come, he'll go.
I mean, obviously, yeah, but I mean.
In the final game last night, the Detroit Lions destroyed the Minnesota Vikings. I had Minnesota winning that game, and obviously I was wrong.
I definitely thought that game was going to be a lot closer, but I thought the Lions were going to win. I mean, that was like, wow.
Hey, maybe the Lions are just that good this year.
Well, did you see what the Vikings did before the game?
I did not. May have, but
they have bought $2 million worth of tickets behind the Viking bench to send about 1,900 season ticket holders to the game at a discounted rate.
That's cool.
The Lions actually complained to the NFL about it, and the NFL's basically told the Lions, go away.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was just buying tickets. They did something not illegal.
Yep, and we're not going to talk about any more NFL.
Playoffs.
We're not missing anything, right?
I don't think so.
Nothing happened up in the Northeast.
Northeast.
Nothing happened up in the Northeast.
Well, I was forgetting. I've already going to the predictions for the playoffs. Yeah, the Patriots beat the Bills, didn't get the number one seed, and they fired their coach all on the same day, which I think's wrong, but maybe he thinks something different.
You had one job. You had one job.
So you fired him over it?
I don't think that.
That's a little strong, though.
Well, we'll get to that. But it's like you have one job. You lose to Buffalo, you get the number one pick. Here's the thing. I know what Herm Edwards would say. You
Play to win the game.
Yes. But at some point, you just got to realize you're dead in the water. You're a fish out of water. It's
Okay.
always better to lose.
So how you do that? Just, were you WCW in 1998 with the finger poke of doom? Just take the fall.
Poke your own eyes.
Okay.
You poke your own eyes. When it comes to Mayo's firing,
You're fired.
You good?
Yeah.
I think I'm torn. I really am torn.
Between two lovers?
No,
Oh.
no. He was not given the time
No,
to
no,
succeed.
1 year.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of this in soccer, unfortunately, in European soccer, where a coach is basically hired and fired and can't stay for a cup of coffee.
Does anybody say it like this? You're fired.
I mean, that was the most inept
Riveting?
roster we've ever had.
Okay.
Well, it's one of the worst rosters we've ever had. I don't even think Lombardi can win with that roster. I don't think anybody could win with that roster.
Nobody would try to win with that roster except for y'all. But
I think a couple things have come out of this. I have a couple of theories.
please.
One, they were going to fire Mayo all along. I think they just wanted to wait till after the game. Word got out.
Okay.
And Mayo intentionally won that game as almost a middle finger to Kraft. I don't think it's possible. Not likely. I heard he was fired the moment he got off the podium.
That's interesting.
Pretty much
sad way to do too. Sad way to go.
They also fired the offensive coordinator, Alex Van Pelt.
Okay.
Though I think Van Pelt was hired because we were under the assumption we were going to get Danes in the draft.
Oh. Okay.
Not right now. I think he was hired with Daniels on.
Right. Okay.
From what I heard.
Well, you're a fourth pick. You can get a good pick in fourth pick.
I think
Shadur might be there at 4.
Something must have happened behind the scenes. Behind closed doors.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I mean, this is a weird thing, this whole situation. I mean, we can all guess who the next coach is going to be. I think it's pretty obvious.
Who's that, Bill Belichick?
Nah, it's going to be Vrabel.
I hope so.
I think it'll be Vrabel. I think here's where I think happened in New England.
Yeah.
I think Josh McDaniels was supposed to be the heir apparent the whole time until he went to Vegas.
Right.
Butchered that thing so badly that the Crafts Belichick panicked to find a successor. And they put Mayo in. Because Vrabel had already gone to Tennessee by that point. So I think they panic hired Mayo. Because didn't Carolina have a guy in between Dean and Roy for like a year?
Oh, yeah, Guthridge.
Yeah.
He was good too.
Okay, bad example, but you get the point.
No, actually, there was the other one, Doherty. He was pretty bad.
Okay, thank you. So you had more than one coach. I thought you had just the one.
Yeah. All right. Are we
Yeah,
going?
I
You
hope
want
it's
to
Vrabel. Next question, I think, is what do we do with Milton?
keep him?
Teams are calling.
Nope.
I would say no,
Played great.
unless one team calls. Titans.
Remember the Titans.
I think if the Titans call and they're willing to give that first overall
We're
pick,
not wanting that for him.
we swap picks. We go to 1, they go to 4.
Oh,
I mean, I'd love to have both picks, but I think you would take Milton and that 4th pick to get that number 1 overall pick.
okay.
And the Bears broke their losing streak against the B team. Thank you.
Go Bears. All right, we got to make some predictions. Playoff predictions. Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Looking forward to it. Saturday afternoon, evening. It starts at 4:30. Chargers and Texans. I got the LA Chargers going to Houston and winning.
I think it's gonna be in a toss-up.
Well, Houston ain't playing great lately. To me,
No, but
they scored 2 points
but
in a
you know
game
what?
lately. Go ahead.
Every playoff game Houston's ever played in
Hmm.
has been a 3:30 game. Or 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central Time.
Right.
They've always played in this time slot. The Saturday at the first playoff game.
That's interesting. And that would. That
And you're
means
like,
what?
and who cares?
And that
What?
means what? Go ahead.
Nothing.
Okay, I figured that coming for you. Thanks for the
You know me and
great information.
my random statistics.
So you got Houston winning?
I could see going either way. I could see Houston winning.
I didn't ask you that. I said you got.
Yes.
You didn't make a pick.
Houston wins.
Calm down. All right. Well, this next game's gonna be a knockdown dragout. I believe the
They're always
Ravens
hard.
and Steelers gonna probably a very low scoring game, probably field goals galore. But I got Ravens winning because they're playing at home. I think also I picked them to win the Super Bowl at the start of the year, so I'm not going to change. Obviously, not in this game. And Baltimore Ravens probably win 9-6, something like that. Especially if the weather's bad. Ooh, the upset. Upset alert.
In the upset. I could definitely see Pittsburgh in the upset. I think they're hungry. I think they're fired up.
Hungry for some Ravens.
After losing to Cincinnati and losing the division, I think they could be hungry enough to go out and get that win. I could also see them getting clobbered by 20.
Yeah, me too. Then in Buffalo, the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo!
The I know the Baltimore and the Denver Broncos back in the playoffs for the first time since 2015 when they won the Super Bowl of the Carolina Panthers. I got the upset here. I got the Denver Broncos beating the Buffalo Bills 35-1.
Buffalo! Buffalo! I got the Bills. Nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
Plus, I just want to see you not real happy next Monday.
Well, I won't be upset. We're not supposed to win the game. If we lose the game, it's like whatever. We'll start again next year. And I think we'll get Tyreek Hill in the offseason. That's for another day, another time. And then it's improving year by year. They went from the third pick in the draft 2 years ago. Last year they got Bo Nix, and now they're in the playoffs.
Boy, I thought Bo Nix was overrated going into the season, but boy, I was wrong.
Well, when you learn how to check down and throw the right passes, make the right reads, I mean, it gets a little bit easier.
I mean, this hasn't been a bad rookie year class, and I'm not including J.J. McCarthy because he's been injured. But
Yeah, I wish you'd have.
Caleb Williams has been the worst of the bunch. But I don't think anybody wins in Chicago.
That's a tough place to win. That's never happened except for 1 year, really.
And that wasn't even because of the quarterback play.
Right, great defense.
That was all defense.
Right. I know you're picking the next game, but Philadelphia Eagles, Green Bay Packers.
You think Philadelphia?
Okay. I think you. Okay.
I mean, I love.
You like to go Green Bay.
I love the Packers. I'm from Wisconsin. I'm also not an idiot. I wasn't born yesterday.
Right, but I think the Eagles lately the injury bug is kind of sniffing at them, but they still get by this game because they're just a better team.
Bugs also got Green Bay.
I mean, Love may not play. I mean, he's got an elbow injury, which could be just like Beck in Georgia. and I hope it's not that serious,
No,
but it could be.
Jalen Hurts might be out as well.
Yeah, I mean that would
Still
be a
problem.
wild. That'd be wild to have two back quarterbacks. I still think the Eagles win because they're at home.
I think if Love plays, Hurts doesn't, Packers can squeak it out.
That would be who's the backup quarterback for? Oh, it's Willis from Tennessee.
Willis,
Yeah,
well,
I mean, got a point there. And then we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home taking on the Washington Redskins.
Commanders.
Nah.
I'm sorry, Dougie. Sorry, guys. I'm going to fight for old DC.
I really like Tampa Bay, but Baker Mayfield is not Tom Brady. I'm going Commanders over the Buccaneers to go on to the next round.
I think Jane Daniels is a better quarterback. And then in the late game, and then the Monday night game.
Monday Night Football.
Vikings.
The final one of the
I
year.
think the Vikings absolutely dump truck.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect storm because you're playing indoors in LA, and I think the Vikings are mad a little bit because they played bad last night, and they get an extra day to rest and recuperate and get ready for this matchup. And I think Minnesota wins and moves on to the next round of the wild card.
Yeah, I think Minnesota.
Playoffs.
I think Minnesota's just too good against LA.
And we will pick more round the next round next week and go over the NFL. Now we'll move on to some college basketball. And Carolina won! Woo!
What blind sister of the poor did you beat?
No point, no pun intended, right?
Don't y'all win like on a 4-point play?
A 4-point play. It took a miracle 4-point play by Elliot Cadeau, hit a 3-pointer, and then Hubert Davis didn't even know he got fouled, so he almost called timeout. And everybody, hey, he fouled him, he gets an N1, and they won 74-73 over Notre Dame. And there's only one player. That free throw is the only reason why a second Carolina player was in double figures in scoring. Ian Jackson scored 25 points, and it was one man show. R.J. Davis kind of said, "It's year 5. Just sit over here and watch."
It is 2-2 now in the Derby di Milano. By the way, just a quick heads up before we transition.
We already transitioned. No, not that way either.
Duke smeared SMU.
I'm telling you right now, the Duke Blue Devils. I hate to give it to them, but they are great, and I think they're a lock to win the ACC. Well, there's only one team I think that can do it is Wake Forest. Wake Forest looks really good. Clemson's all right, but Wake Forest, I think. I mean, I guess because they're in another in-state team, and you know it's going to be a fun matchup when they play each other.
Y'all.
Huh?
I think you can see y'all coming up and biting us in the butt.
You think Carolina's going to beat Duke? Thank you for that respect.
I give my hat where I need to. Duke hosts Pittsburgh next game. He'll play SMU on
Which is going to be an interesting matchup. I got Duke blowing the smithereens out of Pittsburgh, and then I think SMU is going to come in Chapel and win. I'm not very confident right now.
One ranked game tonight.
You'd have to. Carolina have to win 2 games in a row now. This week's got to be a sweep. SMU, NC State, to even be back in the running for an NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. The big one is tomorrow.
The big one.
In the SEC.
Oh, that is a great matchup.
Tennessee goes down to Gainesville to play Florida. Unfortunately, our women's team did lose yesterday at home to Oklahoma.
Are you heartbroken?
No, it was only 1 point to a higher ranked team. So
that's not a big deal.
Wheels aren't off yet.
That's the fun part about the conference schedule now. I mean, that's a great matchup. Florida, Tennessee, big rivals.
Yeah, Tennessee has 2 big road games before going home on next Wednesday to play Georgia. They also go down to Austin for the Battle of the ETs this weekend.
And they haven't given a spread, but what do you think the spread might be in that Florida-Tennessee game?
Oh, it'll be close. I think it'll be around the 20.
And they just lost to Kentucky, right? Florida did? Yes.
Yes.
That was their first loss of the season. I want to say Tennessee wins that game. I like Tennessee right now.
Could also
lose.
It was
at Rupp Arena.
Florida lost at Rupp Arena.
Right. So that's impressive. I mean, the defense didn't play very well. But how about Kentucky, though? After they lose Calipari, they played better. That just means they needed a new voice in the locker room. That's all it means.
I think they did, too. I think Arkansas is not very good. Kentucky's losses have been to Ohio State and Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
no,
weekend. Y'all got, you already said this, but y'all got Texas this weekend. That
yeah,
wasn't that
that'll be
good.
a fun
It's a
one.
tough little road trip this week. Florida and Texas.
Oklahoma plays Texas A&M on Wednesday.
Texas A&M and Alabama Saturday. Alabama is awesome. Can you
That'll
say
be
that?
that'll be a fun one.
I don't know about that. I think it'll be a blowout.
I mean,
Alabama's rolling now.
you never know. You never know. Florida,
Even Steph says who we got in the Super Bowl. We're gonna review that next week.
we're gonna do that next
We
week.
already
Stay
we already
tuned.
passed it up, and we'll go with the how many teams are left next week.
8.
Yeah, and that's when we'll go finish our bracket.
Yes.
We had to talk about New England Patriot football for about 30 minutes, so we couldn't get the bracket in today. Oh gosh. Kentucky and Mississippi State. I'm telling you, the SEC, man, is loaded.
It's gonna be
Mississippi State is 14th in the country. Are they a real 14 team?
no,
Or are they fake?
no, they're fake.
Okay.
My question is, does the SEC tournament champ get a 1 seed regardless? Because of
I
how
mean, right now, yeah.
I'm going with it. The
Why
SEC.
wouldn't they, really? Let's talking about the Big Ten.
Let's see.
Because of the Big Ten schedule. We got some good matchups tonight, but I got Rutgers. I put $5 on the Wisconsin Rutgers game, and I got Wisconsin winning by more
Well,
than
thank
two.
you, Ethan. Thank you. You're so kind.
There you go. Well, we have our teams, so we get a little carried away with our team sometimes.
Hey, Ethan, Evan, come join us on the couch, because your butts are just as much at home as ours.
And then Michigan and UCLA tomorrow in the Big Ten. Not a huge matchup, but
Oh,
I think UCLA is kind of falling down. I'm going Michigan in that game on the cock.
so they have
The
Auburn.
Peacock, William. Come on, get your head out of the.
No, no,
God,
no.
Moses.
ESPN and their latest bracketology from
Oh,
today has Auburn as the #1 team in the country.
what's our number one?
It is
Just ask him what's wrong with him.
ESPN is dumb.
Yep, I'll agree with that. And their big game this weekend, there really no huge games this weekend for the Big Ten. Until, really all the way out the whole week, it's kind of like mid-level games for the Big Ten. I'm sure eventually that'll get turned around. In the Big East,
UNCG has 2 road games this week. They go to Chattanooga on Thursday and play at Sanford on Saturday.
okay. So I've looked up most of those games.
Yes, let's go, G. And yes, I will save you a floaty in Cancun, my friend.
There you go. Why are going to Cancun? Why are going to Cancun?
Because that's where teams that get eliminated from the playoffs go.
That's not a bad place to end up.
It's a joke.
I know. I'm saying it's not a bad place to
Don't
end.
worry.
I'm saying it's not a
But
bad
don't
place to
worry.
end up.
Absolutely, but don't worry, his Broncos will be there very soon.
I mean, yeah, I'm not expecting to win a Super Bowl this year.
They'll be going Cancun on 3. 1, 2, 3, Cancun.
Cancun. I think this off season is key for the Denver Broncos.
Absolutely.
And it's key for every team future that's not very good.
Absolutely.
I think we've touched everything we want to talk about today. You got anything else you want to mention?
We have a new show coming out.
Yes, the Crimson Mask. Hopefully next Monday. Doug was sick today, that's why he's not here. And next week we're going to hope to start the Crimson Mask. Nostalgia is #1 on that show. The first topic we're going to go over is the top 10 wrestlers of all time for each of our own opinion, not on some website somewhere. But I don't think y'all going to agree with my top 10. If you know wrestling, you're probably not going to. I'm going to go ahead and give one tease. Hulk Hogan's not on my top 10 list of all time wrestlers. Go ahead, William.
That means to what?
I'm just saying. I mean, in your mind, would you say Hulk Hogan would be a top 10 wrestler of all time? Just knowing what you know. Okay, I understand, but you know, but he's one of those wrestlers that everybody knows.
I mean,
That's why I asked.
I know of him.
Right, I got you.
I mean, I don't think I could name 10 wrestlers.
Well, it's not a WWE show, Ethan. We're going to talk about every facet of professional wrestling. For us, because I'm a bigger NWA fan all time, really, in the '80s with Ric Flair and the greats of all that era than I am with WWE. But Stone Cold, Rock, obviously, are some of my favorites, and The Undertaker.
I'm more of a college wrestling guy, so
That's fake wrestling.
well, we say the same thing about y'all.
Well, the greatest wrestler, greatest. Oh Lord.
Oh my goodness, Milan just came back and won.
Woo!
Just came back
Woo!
in the 93rd minute.
But also, my lost my train of thought. Anyway,
Forza.
you. Yep, it'll be hopefully next Monday, right after Chop from the Top.
Yeah, somewhere within maybe like a 10-minute break, 10, 15 minute
Yeah, we're gonna have a break.
just to change everything up.
Change clothes, have sex with our wives.
Whoa, what? You have a wife?
Yes. Shocking, right? But anyways, next week also I'm gonna have a niece coming to the world.
Oh,
So not by the time we get on air next week, but next Wednesday.
Sometime within the next 10
Well, it could be early, but she's having what's it called on next Wednesday.
Yes.
So there we go. You ready to take us home?
Yep, we are so glad once again, our first show of 2025.
Happy New Year, everyone! And Elvis's birthday is Wednesday.
Calicronia.
Baby, love, baby, let me be a little teddy bear. Put a chain around my neck and leave me anywhere. Don't let me be, don't let me be a teddy bear.
Thank you for that musical montage.
Thank you.
And we are so glad for everybody who joined, and we are so appreciative of everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube, to like us here.
We'll have this week. We'll actually have the link on Facebook so y'all can go subscribe.
Yes, that was my bad. I had a lot of things going on last week, but we will see y'all in a week. Go Vols.
Go Tar Heels.
Go Spartans.